No celebrity has zero filter like Harrison Ford, and it's hilarious. I select this topic because it is useful. It allows discussion of film history, celebrity culture, pop culture influence, and the difference between a public image and a real personality. https://udo b/gx bo pbfj68 c equals cfxko 5nlv4bh6gnf. Imagine being at the height of your career, shaping pop culture for decades, and still managing to keep it real, refusing to get caught up in the fame. Now, think about the man who has done just that for over 50 years. He's a star in the biggest movie franchises in history, yet remains humble, grounded, and refreshingly honest. Who is he? Harrison Ford. But here's the thing you may not know. Beyond the iconic roles and the blockbuster earnings, there's a side to Harrison Ford that most of the world never sees. And it's in those rare, real moments that his true character shines. Stick around to find out how Ford's authenticity continues to captivate generations of fans, and why he's more than just the characters you think you know. What can you say on a podcast? Well, you can say anything you want, anything at all. The possibilities are endless. Now, when it comes to someone who's never afraid to speak their mind, someone who combines brutal honesty with an uncanny, dry sense of humor, nobody does it better than the legendary Harrison Ford. Known worldwide for his iconic roles in Indiana Jones and Star Wars, Ford has become a symbol of cinematic excellence. Over the years, he has portrayed characters so iconic, they've not only shaped the genres they belong to, but have also left an indelible mark on global pop culture. Ford's characters, such as Han Solo, Indiana Jones, and Rick Deckard, are instantly recognizable, and they've made him one of the most enduring figures in Hollywood. Ford's career is a testament to versatility. With a resume spanning nearly 6 decades, his films have grossed over $9 billion worldwide. His role as Han Solo in Star Wars, 1977, solidified his place in film history. The Star Wars franchise, over its multiple trilogies and spin-offs, has amassed over $10 billion globally, making it one of the highest-grossing film franchises of all time. As of now, Ford's portrayal of Han Solo continues to be celebrated, even as the franchise expands into new territory. But beyond Star Wars, Ford's portrayal of Indiana Jones, which began in 1981 with Raiders of the Lost Ark, is perhaps his most beloved role. The Indiana Jones series, which has produced 5 films to date, is considered one of the best action-adventure franchises ever created, and Ford's whip-cracking archaeologist remains a cultural icon. The series has grossed over $2 billion globally. Ford, however, is not the kind of actor to bask in the glory of his past achievements for too long. He's always looking ahead, and never more so than in his words during interviews. When asked about his career and future, Ford remains as candid as ever. "Now that I've done Star Wars, I'm moving forward. Feels good," Ford says, with his characteristic blend of humility and deadpan humor. "What's next? What's the big plan?" His grin widens, and without missing a beat, he answers, "Get rich and famous." It's the kind of response only Ford could pull off, straightforward, unapologetic, and filled with a kind of self-awareness that's often missing from other Hollywood stars. Ford has never been one to get lost in the limelight. Instead, he embraces the experience with a certain nonchalance that makes him even more endearing. And then, of course, there's the moment Ford is casually sipping water, completely in his element, when his sharp wit takes center stage once again. Someone asks, "Is your life goal to reboot every major franchise you helped to create? Like Blade Runner?" Ford doesn't miss a beat. "You bet it is," he responds, perfectly on brand with his dry sense of humor. "When they called me about Blade Runner, asking if I'd come back, I said, how much?" In 1982, Ford took on the role of Rick Deckard in Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, a film that would go on to become a science fiction masterpiece and influence generations of filmmakers. The film, though initially a box office disappointment, has grown in stature over the years, earning critical acclaim and becoming a cult classic. In 2017, Ford reprised his role in Blade Runner 2049, a sequel that earned both critical and commercial success. The decision to return to the Blade Runner franchise, decades after the original, is a testament to Ford's lasting appeal and the enduring power of his characters. Ford's willingness to revisit roles that defined him speaks to his attitude toward fame. He embraces it, but not in the way many people expect. Instead of merely basking in nostalgia, Ford continues to take on new challenges. His answer, "How much?" when asked about Blade Runner's return, is a reflection of his pragmatic approach to the business. After all, Ford is not only one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, but he's also smart about where he invests his time. His return to iconic roles isn't just about money, it's about legacy and the opportunity to contribute to something that has stood the test of time. As for Ford's other roles, they're just as legendary. From his portrayal of Han Solo in the Star Wars universe, where his character became a symbol of roguish charm, to his role as the intrepid archaeologist Indiana Jones, Ford's impact on cinema is undeniable. His performances in films like The Fugitive, 1993, Air Force One, 1997, and Witness, 1985, have earned him recognition not just as a box office draw, but as a serious actor capable of a range of roles. Harrison Ford's journey in Hollywood is far from over, even as he approaches his 80s. Still active in the industry, he continues to take on roles that both challenge him and excite his audience. And no matter what franchise he's in, whether it's Indiana Jones, Star Wars, or Blade Runner, Ford manages to inject each character with a level of authenticity and grounded realism that makes them feel relatable, no matter how fantastical the story may be. When asked about his legacy, Ford remains refreshingly humble. "I don't know if I've earned it, but I know what I've done," he says. "I'm just a guy who's lucky enough to have been a part of some great films, and those films have lasted." The answer is classic Harrison Ford, straightforward, without pretense, and as genuine as the characters he's played. I've expanded the original content to include more facts about Harrison Ford's career and legacy, as well as insights into his iconic roles and the long-lasting impact of the franchises he helped create. Let me know if you'd like me to add more details or focus on specific areas. It's clear he's in it for the ride, and that ride, well, it seems to always come with a good dose of humor. Harrison Ford, the master of deadpan delivery, has spent decades entertaining audiences with his combination of charm, wit, and unparalleled coolness. Ford's ability to seamlessly integrate humor into his iconic roles has set him apart from his peers in Hollywood, earning him a place as one of the most beloved actors of all time. Despite his immense success, he has always maintained a refreshingly unpretentious approach to his fame. Whether it's the outrageous escapades of Indiana Jones or the roguish humor of Han Solo, Ford has made his mark not only as a box office powerhouse, but also as a man who can make audiences laugh, often without saying much at all. Ford's legendary deadpan delivery is what truly defines him. The man has a gift for saying the most savage lines with such a calm demeanor that they hit twice as hard. "If people are paying attention to your hair, we've got a bigger problem," he says, recalling a moment on the set of Star Wars with Mark Hamill. In this scene, they had just escaped the trash compactor, and Ford's character, Han Solo, was supposed to be a mess. Ford's attention to detail led him to ask, "Shouldn't my hair be all wet and covered in all that schmutz?" To which Harrison, ever the pragmatist, turns to Hamill and dryly responds, "Kid, it ain't that kind of movie." It's an exchange that perfectly encapsulates Ford's ability to ground the fantastical with a touch of humor, and in doing so, remind everyone that the actor doesn't take himself too seriously. Ford's humor has become as much a part of his persona as the iconic characters he's played. For someone whose characters have become so ingrained in pop culture, it would be easy to assume that Ford's sense of humor might have softened over time. But the reality is far different. While many legends tend to mellow with age, Harrison Ford has only grown sharper. His wit remains as quick as ever, and his patience for nonsense, well, that's almost non-existent. And then there's the time when Ford was put in a genuinely jaw-dropping situation. David Blaine, the world-renowned magician, performed a trick so mind-bending, it left even Ford speechless. Known for his groundbreaking street magic and breathtaking illusions, Blaine has long pushed the boundaries of what people believe is possible. When he performed the trick on Ford, it was a moment of pure astonishment. Blaine asked Ford to think of any card in the deck. The trick unfolded and Ford named his card, focusing intently on it. As the trick progressed, the card mysteriously disappeared from the deck, only for Blaine to find a piece of fruit, cut it open, and inside, there it was, Ford's chosen card, perfectly nestled within. "No way," Ford muttered, his voice filled with disbelief. "Get the hell out of my house." For someone who has spent a career acting in some of the most fantastical film worlds, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Blade Runner, it was a rare moment where the man who's seen it all couldn't help but marvel at something beyond his understanding. The experience was a humbling reminder that even Harry Son Ford, the icon who's played characters facing the most outlandish adventures, can still be left in awe by the impossible. His reaction, a blend of humor and genuine shock, was a testament to the authentic, unguarded side of Ford that is rarely seen by the public. Ford's world, however, isn't just about magic tricks or blockbuster franchises. Behind the scenes, Ford is known for his deep understanding of the impact his roles have had on popular culture. His legacy within the Star Wars universe is a case in point. Since its release in 1977, Star Wars has grossed over $10 billion globally, making it the highest-grossing film franchise in history. Ford's portrayal of the charming, yet cynical, Han Solo was instrumental in defining Star Wars as the cultural phenomenon it is today. Han Solo, with his iconic blaster and roguish demeanor, became one of the most beloved characters in cinematic history. Ford's portrayal of Solo helped elevate Star Wars to unprecedented success, with Star Wars: The Force Awakens 2015 earning over $2 billion at the global box office. Ford reprised his role in the seventh installment of the saga, solidifying Han Solo's enduring legacy and his personal connection to one of the most influential franchises in film history. While Star Wars might have been the first monumental franchise to cement Ford's status as a global superstar, it's his role as Indiana Jones that stands as one of the greatest contributions to cinema. The Indiana Jones series, starting with Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981, grossed over $2 billion worldwide, with its blend of action, adventure, and humor. The iconic whip-cracking archaeologist has become a cultural symbol, and Ford's portrayal of the character is widely regarded as one of the greatest in film history. Despite this immense success, Ford is known for rarely basking in the glory of his own fame. Even with Raiders of the Lost Ark earning over $390 million at the global box office, a massive success at the time, Ford has always remained remarkably grounded. One of the rare moments when Ford's emotional connection to the role became visible was when he said goodbye to Indiana Jones in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 2008, the fourth film in the series. During the filming of that movie, Ford, usually stoic and composed, was moved when a fan expressed gratitude for the role. "On behalf of all the fans, thank you," a fan said. "It's been such an adventure. We love you so much." It's a sentiment that captured the immense impact the Indiana Jones films have had on generations of viewers. While Ford is known for his wit and deadpan humor, this rare moment of vulnerability showed just how deeply he valued the lasting legacy of the Indiana Jones character. Ford's return to the Indiana Jones franchise, with the highly anticipated Indiana Jones 5 scheduled for release in 2023, demonstrates how much the character means not only to fans, but also to Ford himself. The franchise's return reflects the continuing importance of these films in modern pop culture, as Ford once again takes the reins as the whip-wielding adventurer. Ford's impact extends beyond the Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises. His role in Blade Runner 1982, another of his landmark performances, helped define the cyberpunk genre, influencing countless films, TV shows, and video games. Blade Runner initially didn't perform well at the box office, but has since been reevaluated as one of the greatest science fiction films of all time. Its sequel, Blade Runner 2049, 2017, a critical success with a global box office gross of over $260 million, saw Ford return to his role as Rick Deckard, once again proving that his appeal transcends decades. What's remarkable about Ford is not just his iconic roles, but his ability to age gracefully while remaining relevant in an ever-changing industry. As of 2021, Ford's films have grossed over $9 billion worldwide, placing him among the highest-grossing actors of all time. In fact, according to Box Office Mojo, Ford is consistently ranked in the top 10 of highest-grossing actors due to his involvement in such massively successful franchises. But despite his fame, Ford remains focused on the craft of acting and continues to challenge himself with new projects. Even as Ford nears his 80s, he continues to take on challenging roles. His latest work in The Call of the Wild, 2020, based on the classic novel, showed that Ford's ability to connect emotionally with audiences has not faded with age. In the film, Ford plays John Thornton, a rugged man who befriends a dog in the wilds of the Yukon. The film's global box office gross of $107 million proves that Ford's draw still resonates with audiences of all ages. When reflecting on his extensive career, Ford remains as self-deprecating and grounded as ever. He doesn't shy away from acknowledging his legacy, but he also avoids dwelling on it. "I don't know if I've earned it, but I know what I've done," he says, encapsulating his typical humility. "I'm just a guy who's lucky enough to have been a part of some great films, and those films have lasted." Ford's words echo a sentiment that runs through his career. It's not about the fame, the accolades, or the money. It's about being part of stories that resonate with audiences long after the credits roll. Ford's enduring popularity is also reflected in the respect he commands within the industry. Over the years, he has received 5 Golden Globe nominations and a Screen Actors Guild Award for his work. Ford's immense contribution to cinema is underscored by the wide-reaching impact of his characters, whose cultural significance spans multiple generations. Whether it's the morally ambiguous Han Solo, the brave and daring Indiana Jones, or the philosophical Rick Deckard, Ford has shaped the way audiences view action heroes and complex characters. And then there's Ford's interactions with the press. He treats them like a nuisance, but in the most endearing way. Harrison Ford has built a reputation as someone who is notoriously private and prefers to keep his personal life just that, personal. He's never been one to indulge in the typical Hollywood celebrity culture of constant media interaction or self-promotion. Instead, Ford has always been unapologetically himself, often making it clear when he's not interested in playing the media game. "Well, I misread the script," he jokes when recalling a physical confrontation with his Blade Runner 2049 co-star Ryan Gosling. "He stepped on my foot for Christ's sake." Ford's sharp wit and ability to throw out a zinger in the midst of even the most awkward or uncomfortable interviews is what makes him so refreshingly authentic. It's moments like these, when Ford breaks the mold of the traditional, polished Hollywood actor, that truly show his personality. He's rough around the edges but deeply genuine. Ford's relationship with the press is a perfect example of his desire to remain grounded in a world that often values image over substance. While many actors and public figures carefully curate their image through press conferences and media appearances, Ford has always been quick to shoot down any attempt at fluff or pretense. Whether it's making a sarcastic remark or simply staying silent during an uncomfortable interview, Ford's reluctance to engage in Hollywood's games is one of the traits that endears him to fans and colleagues alike. In true Harrison Ford fashion, when asked if he keeps memorabilia from his movies, his response is pure gold. Ford has never been one to cherish awards, props, or other keepsakes from his iconic roles. "I don't keep that crap around my house. I don't need any of it. I'm a very rich man," he says, offering a knowing grin. This response speaks to Ford's approach to fame. He values experiences and relationships over material possessions. In fact, it's well known that Ford has refused to hold on to any Indiana Jones or Star Wars memorabilia, including the famous fedora hat or the iconic bullwhip. Even the props that have become inseparable from the characters he's brought to life are, for Ford, just part of the job. He has no need for the physical remnants of his cinematic achievements. His legacy is already solidified. This doesn't mean that Ford dismisses his career outright. On the contrary, Ford has always held a deep respect for the roles he's played, as well as the impact those roles have had on fans. However, Ford is incredibly aware of the difference between his work and his personal life. While his roles in Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Blade Runner have made him one of the highest-grossing actors in Hollywood history, with films grossing over $9 billion worldwide, Ford's reluctance to hold onto memorabilia or chase the trappings of fame demonstrates his focus on what truly matters. His success hasn't been about amassing a collection of awards or memorabilia, but about the lasting impact he's had on the industry and the fans who have followed his career. Ford's wealth and fame are to him just a side note. Despite earning millions over the course of his career, he earned $20 million for his role in The Fugitive 1993 and over $100 million for his role in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull 2008. He has never been one to flaunt his fortune. He lives a relatively private life on his ranch in Wyoming, far removed from the glitzy Hollywood scene. In fact, Ford has long been known for his preference for a quieter, more grounded lifestyle. He's also a passionate pilot and is often seen flying his own planes, which is a hobby that has long been an important part of his life. His ability to separate himself from the fame that's often associated with Hollywood's A-list actors is a testament to his authenticity. Ford's preference for substance over spectacle is also reflected in the roles he chooses. He's not interested in chasing trends or roles simply for the paycheck. Instead, Ford has always prioritized roles that offer meaningful opportunities for growth and storytelling. His turn as the grizzled pilot in Air Force One, 1997, for example, was not just a commercial hit, grossing over $315 million worldwide, but a role that aligned with Ford's desire to portray characters with depth. Ford's career is full of such choices, roles where he wasn't merely playing the part of a hero, but rather a deeply layered character facing moral dilemmas, all while staying true to his own unique style of no-nonsense authenticity. What's perhaps most remarkable about Ford is how he has consistently eschewed the glitz and glamour of Hollywood in favor of remaining true to himself. Despite being a household name for decades, Ford has never been one for public appearances or flashy red carpet events. Instead, he's built a reputation as an actor who chooses his projects carefully and values real human relationships above the superficial aspects of fame. This is one of the reasons Ford has become so universally respected, both in Hollywood and among his fans. In fact, when asked about his legacy in a 2017 interview, Ford made it clear that he didn't see himself as an icon in the traditional sense. "I'm just a guy who's lucky enough to have been a part of some great films," he said. His humble approach to his career is a rare trait in a world where many actors and celebrities are quick to embrace their status as icons. Ford's perspective on fame and legacy shows that, despite all the accolades and commercial success, he remains grounded in what matters most, the work itself and the connections he's made over the years. Even as a man in his late 70s, Ford continues to take on significant roles. In Star Wars: The Force Awakens 2015, Ford's return as Han Solo was not just a nostalgic moment for fans, but a testament to his enduring relevance in the film industry. The film grossed over $2 billion globally, demonstrating that Ford's star power has not diminished with age. His willingness to return to a role that made him famous, while still pushing boundaries with his other work, reflects his ongoing commitment to his craft. Ford has also become known for his philanthropic work, especially in the areas of environmental conservation and climate change advocacy. He has worked with organizations like Conservation International, using his platform to raise awareness about environmental issues and encourage sustainable practices. This dedication to causes that are larger than fame underscores Ford's belief in substance over spectacle. Los Angeles, the City of Dreams, has indeed been kind to Harrison Ford. For decades, the City of Angels has been the backdrop to some of the most iconic moments in his career. Ford, one of Hollywood's most successful and enduring stars, has helped shape the cinematic landscape, with a career spanning more than 50 years. From his unforgettable portrayal of Han Solo in Star Wars to the whip-cracking adventurer Indiana Jones, Ford has cemented himself as a household name. With films that have collectively grossed more than $9 billion globally, Ford's impact on Hollywood cannot be overstated. Yet, for all his success, the spotlight is never quite where Ford's heart lies. What truly matters to him are the moments that most fans don't get to see, those quieter moments behind the scenes that reflect the real man behind the roles. The final farewells, the quiet gratitude, the legacy that transcends any press release or interview. It's in these moments that Ford's character shines through. Over the years, Ford has been known for his intense professionalism on set, his no-nonsense attitude, and his ability to stay focused on the work itself. But there's a side to Ford that's not often seen in the public eye, a deep gratitude for the career he's built and the profound impact it has had on millions of people around the world. In interviews, Ford has mentioned that, although he recognizes his legendary status, he never fully set out to be a star. His primary focus has always been to bring authenticity and depth to the roles he plays. Whether in Indiana Jones, Star Wars, or Blade Runner, Ford has always approached his characters with respect and dedication, which has translated into a lasting legacy that goes far beyond box office numbers. One of the most touching examples of Ford's emotional depth came during his farewell to Indiana Jones, a character he first brought to life in 1981. While Ford has always been seen as a stoic, somewhat guarded figure, his farewell to the character in the fourth film, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 2008, was unexpectedly emotional. For a man who spent most of his career shrugging off accolades and attention, saying goodbye to the character that made him a household name brought out a side of him that was both vulnerable and reflective. Ford, who had become known for his dry wit and tough guy persona, fought back tears as he expressed his gratitude to fans for their unwavering love and support. The Indiana Jones franchise, which has earned over $2 billion globally, is not just a film series, it's a cultural phenomenon that has impacted generations of viewers. And Ford, who has always been reluctant to embrace the fame associated with the role, finally realized the true weight of the impact his work has had. But it's not just Indiana Jones that has left a lasting mark. Ford's role as Han Solo in Star Wars is arguably one of the most iconic performances in film history. The Star Wars franchise, with its sprawling storylines and expansive universe, has grossed over $10 billion globally, making it the highest-grossing film franchise of all time. The character of Han Solo, played with irreverent charm and self-deprecating humor by Ford, has become synonymous with the Star Wars universe. And though Ford never sought out to become a part of such a cultural juggernaut, the role of Han Solo turned him into a global icon. Ford's return to the Star Wars universe in The Force Awakens, 2015, after a 32-year hiatus from playing the character, was a moment of both nostalgia and reflection. The film went on to gross more than $2 billion, and it was Ford's portrayal of Solo, now an aging hero, that brought a new layer of depth to the beloved character. His emotional farewell to Han Solo in the film, marked by the character's death at the hands of his own son, Kylo Ren, was a poignant moment that reflected not just the arc of Solo's journey, but Ford's own reflection on his contribution to the saga. Even as he grows older, Ford has remained refreshingly grounded. Despite being one of the highest-grossing actors in history, his total film earnings, over $20 million per film at the peak of his career, and his stature in Hollywood, Ford has consistently avoided the trappings of stardom. His wealth, estimated at over $300 million, has never been something he flaunts. Instead, Ford continues to live a relatively private life, far from the Hollywood glitter. He resides on a ranch in Wyoming, where he spends his time flying planes, working on conservation projects, and staying away from the media circus that often surrounds celebrities. Ford's passion for flying is well documented. He has piloted aircrafts for over 50 years, and his love of aviation is not just a hobby, but a crucial part of his identity. In fact, Ford's dedication to flying has led him to rescue stranded hikers and contribute to various rescue missions, showcasing a commitment to real-world heroism far beyond his roles on screen. Ford's authenticity isn't just about rejecting fame, it's about embracing what really matters. Over his career, he has forged real, meaningful relationships with his co-stars and colleagues. His working relationships with people like Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Steven Spielberg are legendary, but it's his ability to form genuine bonds with those around him that stands out. Ford's connection with his co-stars has helped create some of the most memorable moments in film history. In Blade Runner 2049, 2017, for instance, his work with Ryan Gosling, despite their 40-year age difference, showed that Ford could adapt and collaborate with new generations of talent while remaining true to his own style. Ford himself has said that Gosling helped him through it during the filming, constantly reminding him of the significance of the role and the legacy of the original Blade Runner. Their camaraderie was both endearing and a testament to Ford's ability to relate to his younger counterparts, without letting his fame overshadow the work. Ford's humility and grounded nature are rare in an industry often consumed by ego and spectacle. Despite his unparalleled success, he remains focused on substance over showmanship. Whether it's his refusal to keep memorabilia from his films, his humble attitude towards awards, or his straightforward answers during interviews, Ford has never been one to indulge in the Hollywood game. In fact, his lack of interest in collecting awards or trophies is well known. Ford famously said in an interview, "I don't keep that crap around my house. I don't need any of it. I'm a very rich man," referring to his lack of interest in memorabilia from Star Wars, Indiana Jones, or any of his other films. It's moments like this that underscore the fact that Ford's true wealth is not in the tangible, but in the lasting impact of his career and the real relationships he's built along the way. Even as a man nearing 80, Ford continues to take on roles that challenge him, while remaining as committed as ever to the craft of acting. His legacy, both in Hollywood and in the hearts of fans, is secure, not because of his fame, but because of the authenticity with which he's approached his work and his life. Harrison Ford is a rare breed of actor, one who has achieved unprecedented success while remaining humble, grounded, and above all, authentic. It's this authenticity that makes his career and his legacy so much more than just box office numbers and accolades. Ford's true impact is measured in the hearts of the millions of fans who continue to look up to him, not as a star, but as a man who has remained true to himself through it all. So here's where I need your input. What do you think makes Harrison Ford stand out from other Hollywood stars? Is it his characters or his approach to fame? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. And hey, if you've enjoyed learning about the true Harrison Ford, the man behind the legend, be sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a deep dive into the real stories behind your favorite icons. Let's talk about those moments you didn't see, those moments that show the true heart of a legend.